Hello friends, in this video I have explained types of eggs in animals. What is eggs? How many types of eggs? How they are classified? What are the characters of the classification of eggs? All these things I will clear in this video. Now let us start. Before start the types of eggs, I would like to explain what is eggs or what is worm. Egg, it is also called the worm. Egg or worm is nothing but it is a female gamete. In egg, you will find that there is a yolk, and yolk is nothing but it is a form of food which is required for the entire process of development embryo. It has three important functions. What are the important functions? First, it supplies a haploid set of chromosomes to the future embryo. Second, it contributes almost all cytoplasm to the zygote. And third one is it supplies food to the developing embryo. Friends, let us see the figure. This is egg of teleostean fishes. This is the egg of elasmobranchi fish. The outer covering of egg is called the chorion. This is the chorion. And inside there is a cytoplasm is a present. And the yolk globules are present in the yolk. Yolk is nothing. It is a store of food materials. So, and one more thing in egg is there is a micropyle. This is a micropyle. Micropyle is nothing but it is a space for the entrance of sperms for the fertilization of the egg. Unless and until the sperm enters into the egg through the micropyle, there is no fertilization occurs. For the fertilization, sperm should be entered into the egg through the micropyle. So micropyle is nothing but there is a small space for the entrance of a sperms. Once a sperm enters into the egg, that area get closed. There is a cortical reactions takes place after entrance the sperm into the egg, and that it get closed to avoid the another entrance of sperms. एकदा स्पर्म या मायक्रोफिल्ममधून एगमध्ये एंट्री केली की कॉर्टियॉनची रिॲक्शन सुरू होते आणि त्याचं हे जे एंट्रन्स आहे बंद होतं. त्याचं कारण असं आहे की इट should not allowed to enter the another sperms. Only one sperm can enter in through the micropyle and for the fertilization of eggs. And after that fertilization, there is a zygote is formed, and zygote is nothing but there is a first stage of a developing embryo, and that just now there is the developing embryo. How it is developing embryo? Because there is a cytoplasm is present and there is a yolk is present. The cytoplasm is providing nutrition to the developing embryo, as well as the yolk is a full storage of food material for the developing of the embryo. So again, one thing that we like to clear, in egg there are two poles are. One pole is called animal pole and another is called the vegetal pole. So toward the vegetal pole, generally there is a more amount of the yolk, and toward the animal pole there is a very less amount of the yolk. So toward the vegetal pole, the yolk percent is more, or you can say where at the you can say there is a where there is a concentration of yolk is more, that side is called a vegetal pole, and less amount of yolk that side is called the animal pole. So there is two poles. One is animal pole and second is a vegetal pole. Okay. Now now we start the types of eggs. How many types of eggs in animals? In whatever the animals are present in animal kingdom, how many types of eggs are present? The eggs are classified into two categories. First, on the basis of amount of yolk, and second, on the basis of distribution of yolk. So, whatever the egg is present in animal kingdom or egg-laying animals, that eggs are divided into two types. First, according to the basis of amount of how much amount of yolk is present. According to that, the egg is divided into four categories. The which are four categories? One is elysical eggs. Second is a microlysical eggs. Third is a mesolysical egg, and fourth one is a macrolysical eggs. The macrolysical egg also known by the name megalisical as well as polylysical. The second type of eggs are, it is depend on the basis of distribution of yolk. Whatever the yolk is present inside the egg, how it is distributed. According to the distribution of yolk within the egg, again they are divided into three types. One is the isolysical egg, it is also called the homolysical. Second is the telolysical eggs, third one is the centrolysical eggs. The telolysical eggs again divided into three types according to the position of yolk inside the egg. That is a slightly telolysical, moderately telolysical, and third is a extremely telolysical. Friends, we will see one by one. There is a types of. First, we will see on the basis of the amount of yolk. Now, friends, on the basis of the amount of yolk, the egg is divided into four types. What are the characters of these four type of egg? We will see one by one. कशाच्या आधारे कोणत्या कॅरेक्टर्स आहेत, कोणत्या कॅरेक्टरच्या आधारे मी सांगितलं आहे की प्रत्येक एगमध्ये योग आहे. योग हा काय आहे? इज नथिंग बट हा योगचं काय मेन फंक्शन आहे? इट इज सप्लाय द फूड मटेरियल टू द डेव्हलपिंग एम्ब्रिओ. एम्ब्रिओ केव्हा तयार होतो? आफ्टर द फर्टिलायझेशन. जोपर्यंत मेल आणि फिमेल गॅमेटचं स्पर्म आणि एगचं युनियन होत नाही तोपर्यंत झायगोट तयार होत नाही. झायगोट ही पहिली स्टेज आहे डेव्हलपिंग एम्ब्रिओ. आणि हा झायगोट जसा जसा डेव्हलप होतो, या डेव्हलप होण्यासाठी कशाची गरज आहे? योगची गरज आहे. योग हा काय आहे? हा फूड मटेरियल, स्टोर्ड फूड मटेरियल हा एगमध्ये आहे. मग त्या योगचं पर्सेंटेज किती आहे त्या एगमध्ये? अकॉर्डिंग टू द पर्सेंटेज ऑफ योग, the egg is divided into four categories. See here, first is elysical egg. Elysical egg. How can you remember these four terms? Means absent and lysical means yolk. When the egg contains no yolk, it is called the elysical egg. ज्या अंड्यामध्ये कुठला योग हा नाही आहे किंवा ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये बलक म्हणतो, ज्या अंडीमध्ये बलक नसतं किंवा योग नसतं, अशा अंडीला आपण काय म्हणतो? अलिसिकल एग. आणि हे कुठे आढळतात? दिस एग्स आर ऑकर्स ऑर फाउंड इन द युथेरियन मॅमल्स. युथेरियन मॅमल्स मीन्स जनरली इन दोज ॲनिमल्स इन एम्ब्रिओ अँड मदर हॅविंग ए कनेक्शन ऑफ अ प्लॅसेंटा. एम्ब्रिओला प्लॅसेंटाचं कनेक्शन असतं, म्हणजे ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये नाळ हा म्हणतो. एम्ब्रिओ डेव्हलप कशाद्वारे होतो? कारण या एगमध्ये पुढचं नाहीच आहे, पण त्या एम्ब्रिओचे डेव्हलप कशाद्वारे होतं? इट इज डायरेक्ट हॅविंग ए कनेक्शन इट बिटवीन अ मदर अँड एम्ब्रिओ, ऑर यू कॅन से फिटस. देर इज अ प्लॅसेंटा. थ्रू द प्लॅसेंटा द नरिशमेंट ऑर फूड इज सप्लाइड टू द डेव्हलपिंग एम्ब्रिओ and that is found in the युथेरियन मॅमल्स. जसं मराठीमध्ये आपण त्याला नाळ म्हणतो. नाळेद्वारे आईचं आपल्या बाळाला फूडचं सप्लाय होतो, नरिशमेंट होतं, न्यूट्रिशन सप्लाय होतो, त्याला आपण म्हणतो अलिसिथल एग्स. सेकंड, मायक्रोलिसिथल एग्स. व्हॉट इज द मायक्रो? मायक्रो मीन्स स्मॉल. Licetal means yolk. When the egg contains small or negligible amount of yolk, it is said to be microlicetal. The Romer and Belinsky, these both scientists, named these eggs as oligolycetal eggs, or particularly the examples are Amphioxus and tunicates. In Amphioxus and tunicates, you will find that microlicetal eggs, the amount of yolk is a very moderate, not high or not small percentage. It is a moderate amount of yolk is present in the microlicetal eggs. The third is microlicetal, small amount of yolk is present in the microlicetal eggs. Very small amount. The third type is called the mesolicetal eggs. Meso means a moderate, licetal means yolk again. In amphibian and dipnoi and petromyzon, the amount of yolk is present is not high. Hence, this egg is named as a mesolicetal eggs. Mesolicetal means moderate. In that egg, yolk amount is a moderate percentage, not high, not small. Only medium, you can say, moderate amount of yolk is present in the mesolicetal eggs. And fourth one is called the macrolicetal or megalicetal. It is also called the polylicetal. Macro means large, more. In those eggs or in these eggs, large amount of yolk is present. Particularly examples are reptile and birds. In reptiles or ewes, as well as egg-laying mammals, that is called the Prototheria. In Prototheria or reptiles and birds, the egg size are very large, and that eggs contains a large amount of yolk, and that's why that is called the macrolicetal, large amount of yolk. Now, the second category of eggs, according to the distribution of yolk, whatever the yolk is present, it may be micro, it may be moderate, it may be large, or whatever the yolk is present in that, how it is distributed. According to the distribution of yolk within the egg, again the egg is divided into three categories. One is isolicetal, or it is also called the homolicetal. What is mean iso or what is mean homo? Iso or homo means uniform. Iso means uniform and licetal means yolk. In isolicetal egg, very little amount of yolk is present, and that yolk is uniformly distributed throughout the ooplasm. And the examples are echinoderms, amphioxus, and mammals. The second type of eggs in second category, these are the telolicetal eggs. Telo means one end or pole. Already I have told eggs have two poles. One is the animal pole and second is a vegetal pole. The vegetal pole, towards the vegetal pole, yolk percentage is a more, always. That's why telolicetal. Telo means one end. It may be animal pole or it may be vegetal poles. So in egg containing moderate or large quantity of yolk, it may be moderate or it may be large quantity, but the distribution of yolk is not uniform. It concentrated more towards the vegetal pole. Whatever the yolk is present, it may be moderate amount or it may be large amount. There, that all yolk is concentrated toward the vegetal pole. जे काही yolk आहे मग मॉडरेट प्रमाणात असेल, मध्यम पदार्थ किंवा जास्त प्रमाणात असेल, सगळा योग कुठं आहे तो व्हेजिटल पोलला कॉन्सन्ट्रेट झाले. सच टाईप ऑफ egg in which the yolk is concentrated toward one pole is called the telolicetal egg. एका साईडला जर yolk जास्त दिसत असतील तर त्या अटीला काय म्हणायचं telolicetal egg. थर्ड टाईप ऑफ egg, that is centrolicetal. What is centro? Centro means center of eggs. Egg of many arthropods and some coelutenates are described as a centrolicetal eggs. When you see the eggs of arthropods and coelenterids, you will find that these eggs are particularly the nucleus which is present, it is slowly migrated toward the animal pole. Animal pole. The eggs are elongated and have a great amount of yolk. When you see the coelenterate animal eggs or arthropods, the eggs are somewhat elongated, and whatever the yolk is present, they are concentrated toward the center of the egg, not toward the animal pole or not more to the visitor pole. It is particularly concentrated more to the center of the eggs, and the nucleus which is present, which is generally present at the center, it is slightly lies toward the animal pole. Such type of difference between uh, yolk, distribution of yolk and amount of yolk. There are two types of. Now, friends, the second type of yolk, that is teloleucinthalia, it again divided into three types. See, the teloleucinthal eggs again divided into three types. One is a slightly teloleucinthal, second is a moderately teloleucinthal, and third is a extremely teloleucinthal. What are the characters? We will see one by one. In slightly teloleucinthal, generally the eggs of fishes comes under the slightly teloleucinthal eggs. In this type of eggs contains a very small quantity of yolk. माशाची जी अंडी आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये यॉकचं जे पर्सेंटेज आहे विशेष थोडं कमी आहे इतर ॲनिमलपेक्षा. इट कंटेन्स ओनली स्मॉल क्वांटिटी ऑफ यॉक. द yolk is distributed unevenly, and the digital pole has the highest concentration of yolk, and the animal has a lower concentration of yolk. When you see the egg of fishes, you will find that whatever the egg yolk is present, they are more toward the vegetal pole than the animal pole. Now, second is a moderately teloleucinthal eggs. Generally, the amphibian eggs comes under this category. This type of egg contain a moderate quantity of yolk, the distributed unevenly, high concentration of yolk present in the vegetal pole. The nucleus is shifted more toward the animal poles. And third type of teloleucinthal eggs, that is extremely teloleucinthal, the eggs of reptilian and avian eggs, that is birds. That eggs are large in size already. It contains much more amount of yolk. In this type of heavy deposition, yolk is present. The entire vegetal pole and a major portion of animal pole are occupied by yolk. Because the quantity of the yolk is very large, that's why it covers entire area of vegetal pole, and also it extend up to near to the animal pole. That's why, due to the extremely uneven distribution of yolk, the ooplasm and nucleus which is present at the center, it is slightly displaced toward the animal poles. So, according to the teloleucinthalia, again divided to three types according to the position of yolk. These are the slightly teloleucinthalia, moderately teloleucinthalia, and extremely teloleucinthalia. And now, friends, what type of eggs are found in the fishes? Fishes are particularly, there are two types of eggs are found in fishes. One is the pelagic eggs and second is the demersal eggs. According to the level of water or according to the position of eggs in the water, they are divided into two categories, the pelagic and second is the demersal. The pelagic eggs are nothing but that is also you can say floating eggs. In the pelagic zone, there is a ocean. When you see the zonation of sea, after the neritic zone, there is a large open ocean water. Large open ocean waters. In that open sea, that area is called the pelagic area, and in that pelagic zone, whatever the fishes lies their eggs, lies their eggs, that is called the pelagic eggs. That pelagic eggs are again two types. One is isolated eggs, and second is agglutinated eggs. Agglutinated eggs. See here, isolated eggs. Isolated. When you see the figure, see this figure, this is the isolated eggs. This is each eggs are separate. प्रत्येक एक हा तुम्हाला काय दिसेल, वेगळा वेगळा दिसेल. स्मॉल एक चेंडू दिसल्यासारखे सुंदर आकर्षित असे स्मॉल बॉल्स आहेत, असे वेगळे वेगळे आहेत. त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण, आयसोलेटेड एग्स. अँड सेकंड एग्स इज कॉल्ड agglutinated eggs. The particularly Lipid family Lipid spawned eggs are embedded in a gelatinous ribbon and balloon or agglutinated to each other forming a mass. हा तुम्हाला एक मास दिसेल, एक असं बंडल दिसेल मासचा. हां, तुम्हाला असे वेगळे असे एग्स दिसणार नाहीत. इट इज अ पर्टिक्युलर दॅट ऑल एग्स आर अटॅच्ड टू द ईच अदर. is embedded to the each other and in gelatinous ribbon. gelatinous चिकट असते आणि ते एकमेकाला असं सेपरेट होत नाहीत. असे एकमेकाला इट्स अ ग्रुप ऑफ बंडल ऑफ ओवा विच इज अटॅच टू द इच अदर्स. पण इथे कसं सेपरेट आहे आणि इथे असा मास प्रमाणामध्ये अशा प्रकारे दोन टाईप ऑफ पिलॅजिक एग्स. बट दीज एग्स आर फाउंड इन द पिलॅजिक झोन. दॅट्स वाय इट इज कॉल्ड द पिलॅजिक एग्स. Second, that is called the demersal eggs. Demersal, according to the position of eggs in the water. The demersal eggs are found at the bottom of sea. समुद्राच्या तळाला ही मासे आढळतात. It again it has two types. One is the adhesive eggs and second is the non-adhesive eggs. Adhesive म्हणजे चिकटपणा असतात. एक particularly it having a filaments. membrane or filamentous for the attachment to the debris material or to the rocks. The adhesive eggs, it is found in the Exocetidae family as well as the Gobiidae family. These species lies the eggs or it spawns eggs. It's having a adhesive membrane or filamentous. With that adhesive membrane or filamentous, it attached to the substratum. सबस्ट्रॅटामध्ये जे रॉकवर किंवा डेब्रिस मटेरियल बॉटमला असतं, त्या डेब्रिस मटेरियल हे स्वतः ते अंडी अटॅच होतात. आणि सेकंड जे आहे तर नॉन अडेसिव्ह एग्स, दॅट इज पर्टिक्युलरली इन द फॅमिली ऑफ सॅलेमनिडी. these eggs are heavy, जड असतात. दॅट्स वाय इट सिंक्स टू द बॉटम. इफ द फिश इट मे बी pelagic, the fish it may be pelagic, but it gives the demersal eggs. Use a demersal egg. The demersal eggs are heavy as compared to the pelagic eggs. They do not float, and that particularly the demersal eggs sinks to the bottom. Sink म्हणजे बुडणे, sinks to the bottom, and it is attached to the rock or debris material by the membrane or filaments. Now we will see one by one what are the characters of the pelagic eggs. The pelagic eggs of most species are small in size, measuring about 0.7 millimeter to 1.5 millimeter in diameter. A few species have a large size eggs which is measured about 1.6 millimeter to 2.6 millimeter in diameters. All pelagic eggs are transparent and spherical, occasionally found slightly ovoid in shape. ओवाइड म्हणजे अंडाकृती. हे एग जर पाहिलात तुम्ही, आता जे सुरुवातीला पाहिलात हे वेगळे आयसोलेटेड एग, ट्रान्सपरंट, स्पेरिकल आहे. तर साईज कसं आहे, स्पेरिकल आहे. ऑकेजनली फाउंड स्लाइटली ओवाइड म्हणजे अंडाकृती दिसतात. द पिलॅजिक एग्स आर फ्लोटिंग टाईप, स्मॉलर इन साईज compared to the demersal eggs. Already I have told they are smaller in size as compared to the demersal eggs. The eggs do not have a adhesive membrane as like the second category adhesive second eggs. That is, they are buoyant. Buoyant means हलके, वजनाला हलके असतात. The buoyancy is maintained by single oil globule. कशामुळे buoyancy येते त्याला? त्या अंड्यामध्ये ऑइल ग्लोब्यूल आहे. ऑइल ग्लोबल आणि ऑइल ग्लोब्यूल ऑइल इट फ्लोट्स ऑन द सर्फेस. द डेन्सिटी ऑफ ऑइल इज लेस दॅन द वॉटर. पाण्यापेक्षा त्या ऑइलची डेन्सिटी कमी असल्यामुळं ते पाण्यावर चालतं ते, म्हणून त्या अंड्यामध्ये ऑइल ग्लोब्यूल आहे. ड्यू टू द प्रेझन्स ऑफ ऑइल ग्लोब्यूल it becomes a buoyancy, and that's why the eggs easily float on the surface of water. If oil globule is not there, sometimes काही अंड्यामध्ये ग्लोब्यूल जर नसेल पण पिलाजिक एग्ज असतील तर हाऊ दे बिकम buoyancy? हाय पर्सेंटेज ऑफ वॉटर इज प्रेझेंट विच हेल्प इन फ्लोटिंग. त्याच्या अंड्यामध्ये पाण्याचं प्रमाण जास्त असल्यामुळं तो अंड्याला इट फ्लोट्स ऑन द surface. And during the floating stage, the dispersion of egg takes place. ते एकाच ठिकाणी राहत नाही, डिस्पर्स होतात, असे विखरले जातात. ऑलरेडी दे आर आयसोलेटेड. ऑलरेडी दे आर आयसोलेटेड. दॅट्स वाय इझिली डिस्पर्सन takes place inside the water. This is the pelagic eggs. Now demersal eggs. Already I have told that demersal eggs are larger than the pelagic eggs. And eggs are laid in masses or singly. Mass or it may be singly, but they are generally masked. The eggs are heavy or dense. They sink to the bottom. जड आहेत पाण्यापेक्षा, त्याच्यामुळं जड असल्यामुळं ते सिंक बॉटम, ते सिंक्स टुवर्ड द बॉटम, बुडतात आणि इट लाईज टू द बॉटम ऑफ सी. द एग्स आर प्रोव्हायडेड विथ ॲडेसिव्ह मेम्ब्रेन. त्या अंड्याला काय ॲडेसिव्ह मेम्ब्रेन्स असतात, चिकटून राहण्याची क्षमता असते, एक प्रकार मेम्ब्रेन आहे. विथ हेल्प ऑफ द ॲडेसिव्ह मेम्ब्रेन इट अटॅच्ड टू द डेब्रिस मटेरियल ॲज वेल एज द रॉकी मटेरियल at the bottom. Stick on the other subjects. Stick म्हणजे चिटकतात. The stick on the other objects with the filamentous structure. Okay, this is about the demersal eggs. Friends, I would like to clear one thing here. Normally there is no relation between habitat and type of egg produced. Normally, what I am telling, normally there is no relation between habitat and types of egg produced. Habitat means place of living. Some fishes which lives at the pelagic water, pelagic zones. Some fishes lies to the bottom, bathypelagic zones or bottomला म्हणजे समुद्राच्या बॉटमला राहतात. This is habitat, place of living. Either they are, according to the niche or level of water, the fishes are divided into three types. One is surface, second is column, and third one is bottom. Bottom laying animals, column level animals, and surface level animals. So these are the habitat of the fish. But types of eggs, whether it is a pelagic or a demersal. Pelagic means floating or pelagic zones, or they are found in pelagic. Demersal, where it is found? To the bottom. So there is no relation between habitat and types of eggs. I will clear by the few examples. See, some pelagic fishes can produce demersal eggs, or some demersal fishes can produce pelagic eggs. म्हणजे काही पिलॅजिक मासे डिमर्सल एग्स प्रोड्यूस करतात, काही डिमर्सल मासे म्हणजे बॉटमला राहणारे मासेसुद्धा ते एग्स प्रोड्यूस द पिलॅजिक. जनरली मोस्ट कॉमन पिलॅजिक फूड फिशेस हॅव ए पिलॅजिक. एक जनरल ठोकताळ आहे, ऑलमोस्ट द पिलॅजिक फिशेस जनरली प्रोड्यूस द पिलॅजिक एग्स, but it is not applicable to the all fishes. See, I will clear that points. The pelagic sardine fish produce pelagic eggs. Sardine fish कशी आहे? There is a pelagic fish. Sardine आहे, mackerel आहे, ही कसं आहे pelagic fish आहे. So they are found in the pelagic zones where the herring is a pelagic fish, but the eggs are demersal eggs. The pelagic sardine produce pelagic fish, no doubt. It lives in pelagic zone and it produces pelagic eggs. Where the herring is a pelagic fish but produce demersal eggs. Similarly, angler fish, which is a demersal fish but produce pelagic eggs. So angler fish हा demersal fish आहे पण तो अंडी को देतो pelagic eggs देतो. And the deep sea wolf herring is a demersal fish produce the demersal eggs. So demersal fish also produce demersal eggs. Demersal fish also produce pelagic eggs. Pelagic fishes produce pelagic eggs, or pelagic fishes also produce the demersal eggs. So there is no relation between habitat and types of egg produced by the fish. So this is about the types of eggs, their classification according to their amount of yolk or distribution of yolk. Again, there is two types of eggs which is found in fishes, pelagic eggs, demersal eggs. All these points I have clear about this. If you have any problem regarding this, I have already send the notes on classroom, Google Classroom. Better you read that and see this video, and if you have any queries, problems regarding this, you may ask me on WhatsApp or give comments on the Google Classrooms. मित्रों, जरी काही आपल्याला शंका असतील तर आपण धन्यवाद.